Welcome back. This is Rotten Raven. Today I'm going to go over Diablo 3. Season 38 is about to start. It starts on March 27th at 5 p.m. PDT, CET, KST. In case they mess us up again, it's your normal start time. Well, most people's Friday, but I know other countries could be Saturday or earlier, I think, or actually it's earlier. The whatever time it normally starts is the time it starts on Friday or on the 27th. Remember, they did not announce when season ends. This is still Sunday for me, so I can't. It's still going, but it's not after this time. Remember, your season will end on the 22nd, which is for me is a Sunday, at the same time, whatever time the season starts. I'm Eastern, so mine's 8 p.m. Eastern. So it starts on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it ends on Sunday, the 22nd, at 8 p.m. Eastern. PDT Pacific time is California time, which is basically where the server's at, unless they have more across the seas. Season journey. Get into that. Season 38 is Ethereal Memory. If I'm saying that correctly, people like to say same things wrong. Basically, Ethereals. It was introduced in season 24. Then we had again in season 24 or 32. So keep that in mind if you're looking at leaderboards. There's a caveat because season 24, there's some things that change after season 24 that might not be. Ethereals might not have those powers. So Ethereals are account bound. It's not a timer to give to another player that they're in a game with you. They are account bound. Can only be dropped by monsters, chests, and destructibles. Of course, monsters is any monster, and of course, elites and Rift Guardians. But do not require your character to be level 70 in order to drop. If those cannot be acquired through Kanaya's Cube or from Gadala. The earliest people have seen someone it drop is level 5, so keep that in mind. We'll talk about that later on farming it. Ethereal's rarity drop rate is set between Ancient and Primals. So it's a big power boost at low level to get one, and we'll get to it, but they have a power and it's the next line. There are 3 unique Ethereals per class. Each Ethereal has 6 affixes and rolls 1 random legendary weapon power and 1 random class passive skill. In case you're thinking this is what your Hellfire Amulet will have, it's your 4 passives, 5 passives, 4 passives, right? That gives you a 5th. Only 1 ethereal can be equipped at a time. That's nothing new. Ethereals ignore item durability loss, which means they never have to be repaired. So you always have the benefit and the power level. I'm trying to think how I say the damage of it. But of course, if your other items are getting damaged, whatever, that they become less. But your ethereal weapon will not. Legendary powers and class passive skills rolled on ethereals do not stack with the same power equipped through Kanaya's Cube. Items or skills. For example, you can't use the whatever power on the weapon and in the cube. It always takes the better one regardless. It does not stack. Ethereals cannot be enchanted, transmogrified, dyed, reforged, or traded. There's a caveat on reforge here. Ethereals can be augmented, so Khaadim's Despair, however you say it, you can still do that. Collect all 21 Ethereals during the season will reward players with a feat of strength. Ethereal recollection. Players who accomplish this will have all Ethereal transmogs options available for future seasonal and non-seasonal play. If you already got this achievement, you do not need to worry about this. You already have it. Let's pick up this card or not. Ethereals only drop in seasonal play and will not transfer to your non-season character when the season ends. They go poof. So make sure before the end of the season, you're not playing no more. Salvage them. I have a thing. So when you salvage Ethereals, you have a chance. Well, it's a random amount. you either get Forgotten Souls, Death Breaths, or Greater Rift Keys. So here's an example of someone posting it. I looking how many they got. It's probably level 70 a thorough. Because one thing says and it's a random amount of one of these three. Someone said you can get regular mass too, but no one showed a screenshot of it. So what they say is Greater Rift Stone Key, Death Breaths, or Forgotten Souls. So anytime you get a duplicate you don't want, salvage it, especially at early level. You can get Death Breath from it, or a chance to get Death Breath, I should say. It seems like you get Death Breath or Forgotten Souls pretty commonly. It's the Greater Rift Key, which is always seems to be low. It's like 1 to 4, I think, on a level 70. It might be 2 to 4. There's a low chance on that. So let's go back here. The season cosmetic rewards, blah, blah, blah. Season 14 and 26, you got these. Of course, this is, I'm skipping over it, but what was it called? The Conqueror set? Yeah, Conqueror set. And then you get the Spirit of Justice and the Pendant. That's just for playing. I don't know. Normally you have to complete your journey for this. Like chapter 4, I believe. They don't say how you get it. But you do season journey, you'll get this. And then if you do your Guardian in season journey, you get these two. You get the which was introduced in season 26. You get this, and you get the pet to some trooper pet. This is called Raycock's Remembrance. We don't care about season journey. Season conquest. This is what you're gonna look at. There are 5 out of the 6 easy ones. Remember, on season conquest, you can do it in hardcore or softcore. It counts for either mode. There's a caveat on Years of War here. Avaretta and Avarice is a 50 million gold streak while outside of the vault and the inner sanctum. Basically, you can't do greed and get it. T16, do visions, find a goblin portal, like a bunch of goblins. You will easily get it. There's a thing about running, was it area in Act 5? You get all those little tiny monsters, or scarabs, or what they're called. You basically run through. You have a gold skin on. There's a thing where it emulates off your follower that they all drop gold. However, there's a 100% chance on dropping gold if you have it equipped. There's not a power that emulates. So you usually want it on you. And you can't use it in the cube either. You have to have it on wearing it, because that 100% thing does not go in the cube. It doesn't emulate off your follower. And then there's some other things like if you want to save challenge rift cast, it gives you 5.1 million gold per cache. It doesn't matter what tournament level you open on, that's what it gives you to. So you need 10 of them. They'll give you 51 million gold, right? 5.1 mil times 10 is 51 mil. 9's 45 something. I forget what it translates to. It's not enough. You need 10 of them. That is not the most efficient way, because that's 10 weeks of doing that. So you probably need 12, or at least 11, because you need 1 for the altar. And then if you're using 1 when you first start for season play, whether you're using the cache or not, that's up to you. So if you do, it means you need 12. That means 12 weeks. Well, like this one, we've had the season go on for a little over 3 months. So that was more than 12 weeks, so you could get it. But not all challenge rifts are easy to do. And remember, you can only get 1 per week per account. So there's no point redoing it once you got it. You won't get a second one. All right, the next one's Need for Speed. Complete basically a 10T rift within 2 minutes. You can do it in hardcore, softcore. Level 3 gems of level 65, hardcore and softcore again. This will come to this one next. Reach Greater Rift level 75 solo. You're already doing a 70 to unlock primals. So 75, an extra 5 levels. You're gonna do, especially once you start playing, you're able to do that. It'll be easy to get. You're gonna be farming GR90s anyways. unless you're better in 110s. So chances are, if you're doing this, you're going to level up the gems real easy. There is an easier, well, not easier. There's a way to get your gems to 65 until you get all these up. If you actually get a, what do they call it, a scream and echoing nightmare, that you usually need a level 125 to get to the altar. Anyways, you need a scream to get to the altar and a scream at level 125. If you get extra, you run it. Whatever you get, as long as it's higher than 65, it will count towards this. Like I said, there's a slight caveat where if you don't have a gem already at level 65 and you get them, you might have to get a gem to 65. Or the other thing is to level up that scream. I think you can do a low level one, as long as you put a level on it and you have three of those between the screams and your regular gems that are over 65 or better or higher, that it will count it. But when you sample, you have one, you get 2 screams that say they're level 125. You're lucky, you had a good group. It might not count it till you level up another gem. So I'm trying to say. So it's easy to do, but eventually you're going to have 3 gems on you that's level 65. If you're farming anyways after level 75. The last one is hard. It's reach level 55. Do a Greater Rift 55 solo with a full set of 6 of the following class sets. Well, each class only has 5. You have the non-set, which doesn't count, and you have 5 classes, or 5 sets. One of them is the new set, which does not have a set dungeon, but does not tell you to do a set dungeon, so it should be in this to count. So you need to create a second character anyways. And this is where the caveat comes in. You can do this in softcore and hardcore. They do not track together. So whatever you do in hardcore does not track in softcore and vice versa. So it's an easy one to do. If you do 6 in softcore, you can do 6 in hardcore also to get both of these, which is not easy to do, right? I mean, sometimes you have extra gear pieces, but you have to get all of the set pieces in order for this to count. It does not work. This is a 6-piece set. It does not work on Guardian, Sage, any of them that are only 2 to 3 pieces. Well, 3 pieces, but you only work 2 for the Royal Grandeur. Same with this. You can roll 5 pieces with a Royal Grandeur. It'll still count because it counts as 6 pieces, right? You get the full benefit of 6 pieces. That's why it says full bonuses. To make sure you don't have to have 6 pieces, you can have 5 plus a regular Grandeur. Good luck on that. So these are like these 5, and technically if you want to go and do it in hardcore too, these are technically you can get 10 right off the bat. You only need 3. 3 is the most you need for complete the Guardian, Conquer, whatever it is, the end of season journey. So that's easy. Haedrig's Gift, we're going to transfer over. Anyone knows what they are, kind of. Barbarian, you get Breaker, which is Furious Charge. Crusader, you get Armor of Akon. If I'm saying that correctly, Judgment has no cooldown. Thalak's Avatars. NY Aircraft Champion's active, you do more damage and take less damage. Demon Hunter, you get Embodiment of the Marauder. Basically, you get the sentries do damage, and your pets take less, right? You call them all your side. Monk gets Inus, which basically is your mystic ally, and the bonuses they get. This is probably a typo here. I think it's supposed to be Pestilence. If you go back to here, it says Pestilence. Yeah, they misspelled it on maxroll.gg. Remember, it's not .com or .net, it's .gg, and then you can go up here to find what you want. Pestilence is basically, especially on a 2-piece set, is where it starts. It will auto-consume a corpse and then fire at your enemy. It's like a little spear, dagger, or something. So it does not stack. A lot of builds are using the corpse explosion, which at low level, if you don't have the set, they work independently. Either you corpse explode or you can consume a corpse to fire. But once you have the 2-piece set or better, it's automatically consuming a corpse and firing. You have no control over it, which corpses are taken. So you have to be fast on corpse explosion if you're going that route. But normally, anything around you is going to be sucked in, and all your corpses are gone, and it's gonna fire little, like I said, little daggers or spears at your enemy. So corpse explosion will not work. So keep that in mind, because I know there's a lot of builds, lawn build and stuff, but your lawn build wouldn't have pestilence on. But if you're doing that while you're leveling, just keep that in mind. Witch Doctors is doing a Masa's Haunt, which your fetish army lasts forever and they do more damage. Blah, blah, blah. Wizards Deseret Magnum Opus, or Opus, however you want to say it. Basically hitting the enemy with Arcane Orb, Energy Twister, Magic Missile, blah blah blah. Slow time. And it does more damage. Enemies affected by your slow time, and after 5 seconds after take 20,000%, if I'm reading that right. Increased damage from all your skills that is listed above. So that's Haedrig's Gift. There's a portrait of what the armor looks like for this class sets from Haedrig's Gift for season 38. And that's it. So let's go into a little bit more. I already did that one. Your Thoros. I hate that it does that. You. Did it tell me here? Yeah, you put Romani's Gift on a Thorough weapon, and you can use Call to Sands Despair on it. Like I said, you cannot reforge it. However, I'm not sure where it's at. Let's talk about something else. You can use the cube recipe where if you have a primal, you salvage it, you can use Parmoto Ashes. You still can do that from what I've seen on Reddit from season 32. The big thing here is, I'm telling you here, that some of these, like example, the Barbarian, they're one-handed weapons, right? This one's a two-handed. You can get the power, a two-handed weapon power on a one-handed weapon, right? Because it comes, you see towards the bottom, a random legendary weapon effect. Remember, these are always going to be weapon powers. It will never be like your belts or shoulders or offhand or anything like that. It will, or necklaces, rings and amulets. It will not give you that power. So, for example, you can't get Flavor of Time or Unity or any of that. It won't be on that. It's a weapon power. So there's a whole thing. And this is what I have here. For example, this barb, these are kind of the powers you get. And most people can get Furnace. Oh, this is what I mentioned. The interesting part is that you can get a two-handed weapon, legendary power, on a one-handed ethereal weapon. And here's the list. So this is in season 24. They made the list. So anything after season 24, they will, as far as we know, they did not, in season 32, they didn't update the list. So anything that was, any powers changed or added, they did not change it. They might have, if they nerfed a power, it might be nerfed on the weapon, but, for example, Clock Eye, we used to get for Demon Hunter, now it's a Witch Doctor, Hex Chicken, right? That came out in season 29. As far as everyone recalls, in season 32, they did not have that power. And there's a thing about it where, this is why I have the stuff open, sorry. Shadow Impale. Some builds obviously benefit more than others from these ethereals. Unfortunately, some builds cannot even use them, like Shadow Impale, if Demon Hunters have no melee ethereal weapon. But then on their list here for Demon Hunter, they have Crowley's Point, right, which is Impale. Either Greenstone's Fan, I'm never using these. And most of the other ones are basically bows or one-handed crossbow. Right, in case someone wants to know, I was hovering over these to see what the powers were. And GM, Furnace, and Echo and Fury, a lot of people can use. Crusader. I'm not going to read all these. Darklight, obviously, you might want. So it's nice to have a power on your weapon, and then you can put the other two-handed or whatever in the cube. Because remember, it won't have belt, so it's your weapon. So remember, you Darklight, you normally put it in the cube because it's a one-handed weapon, and you want to use a two-handed weapon and an offhand. Pretty sure you do it that way. Yeah, because the one weapon's two-handed, the green. So there's things that we'll go back here. Let's go through all these real quick. I think I went through most of these already. That keeps going up. You can slow the video down if you actually want to see, but most of this is what they Maxwell GG posted. So there's conflicting information, like about the Demon Hunter and stuff. But see, Witch Doctor, it would be a two-handed. They don't have bows, so that's where it comes down to, because originally they didn't have any bow powers. Demon Hunter had it, which they don't even list the other bows because it would be whatever I said. Hawkeye, which would be originally it clocks and it did something. The follower used it, but now the Witch Doctor does not have bows. It's one-handed, two-handed weapons and mojos. Oh, see, they have offhand. Why is that? They said weapon. I guess. See, it's a question then, because it says weapon, are they consider an offhand a power too? Barbs don't, but barbs don't use it. Wizards, yeah. Okay, so we went through that. So now there's 21 to collect. So if you already collected them, you don't need to do it again. If you collected all 21. If you did not do it, so you only collected 20, I'm pretty sure you have to collect all 21 again, because they would not give it to you until you collected all of them in the previous season. So I'm pretty sure, because they go poof, they don't know which ones you have, right? Maybe behind the scenes, but I'm pretty sure, I'm confident to say that if you did not get it before, if you did not get all 21, you have to farm all 21 again. And people go, oh, I have to farm all 21. And obviously on a level 70, or you're level 70 doing it, they drop from level 5 to 70. Paragon doesn't matter. So you have to collect 3 from each class. For you who do not have the Necromancer, it is so possible to get. Most people say play Witch Doctor or Wizard because it's like the Necromancer. Smart Loot is dumb. So that, remember, Smart Loot is supposed to drop an item that you can use, right? But there's a chance to give you another class's item. It could be yellow too, for that matter. It could be a power from another class, and it's not like it's the ones that are every class can use, like the furnace, or most all can use it. Not all can use the furnace. So you would have to farm them, and you see like this is a one-handed, example, two-handed, and I'm pretty sure barbs you can use two one-handed. The two-handed and a one-handed. I forget all the rules. I haven't played barb in forever, since season 1 technically. So, Divine Crusader and Necro. Either way, I'm saying that with the Necromancer, it can drop on another class, but you have to farm it. You can get lucky on level 70 and be on that class, and just play, and you get it, and there's a chance to get another class's if thorough. However, thorough are not that high. They don't tell you the percent chance to drop, but with all this other stuff that can drop, it's getting lower and lower. That's showing the powers. So the easy way to do it is between level 5 and 12. People say 7, people say 12. Do a puzzle ring. So create a level 31 character, so you need an alt character, and gamble your blood shards on rings and hopefully get a puzzle ring. The thing is, do not do it on a barb or a necro, because they actually have 2 legendary rings at that level, at level 31. You say between 31 and 34. There's a thing about 34, like it might start going to the next things that it can drop because of how it works. It's like you get level 16 when you gamble at level 1, right? If he falls in the world, it's your level. And most things are like 8 to 10, but if it's some good Dow, it's level 16. There's something similar to that. But normally say level 31, say at level 31. Obviously, it's not when you're constantly playing. You go farm blood shards on your main character, and then you switch over to your level 31 character and gamble. Like I said, except for Barb and Necro, because they have 2. If you want, great, but you only got 1 legendary that can drop for a ring for all the other classes. And remember, since you're gambling at a low level, level 31, the items, regardless in the altar or not, it says level 1 equipable. It's level 31, because that's what the game is. That's what you are. Right? Even if you come on a level 70 game with your friend, but you're level 31, it's going to drop a level 31, roughly around that area, item. So therefore, your yellows are going to be level 31. You cannot use Hoboken on it because it has to be a level 70 item, so you might as well salvage. And of course, blues and whites you're going to salvage automatically anyways because you don't need them, especially at that low level. And of course, with the altar, when you make your level 5 or whatever, you can, if you unlock we can use a level 70 item, just use any level 70 item. Most people just use it in GM or whatever for speed. It doesn't matter. You can go through it really quickly. There's a thing, though, if you're by yourself, you need to keep the game at that level. So, you want to play at a lower tournament. If you already have that character at level 5, just run through without defeating anything and just go defeat Greed. She's guaranteed, that's why I thought I had bookmarked, 2 legendaries. There's a 50% chance that it will be a thorough weapon. But so you can get 2, right? Max. However, it could give you a duplicate sample. Say you're playing a Barbie, you could get 2 Doombringers, or 2 of these and not, say you didn't get Grandfather. You do it again. If it drops 1, it's not guaranteed it's going to give you the Grandfather. It's going to give you, chances are, one of the other 2. So you need a lot of puzzle rings. People say between 30 and 40 puzzle rings per character to get your 3rd one. So hopefully you already got 1 at level 70 that you can use, and you're just looking for the other 2. And I'm not saying it's random which one's going to drop. I don't think it's the Grandfather. I'm just saying that hopefully it drops the other 2 that you need. And then rinse and repeat on the other class you need it on to get the achievement. Most people say keep 1 of each one until you actually get the what the achievement's called, the recollection. You can salvage the duplicates, especially at low level. You don't need them. You're not going to be able to use the power anyways, or you can use the power, but the weapon damage is so low, it's not worth it. When it's picking up, in case you're hearing that. Salvage. Yeah. If you're with a friend, or if you're doing it, just do it yourself first, right? You can make the game. Most people say go T4, don't go T6. If you have a level 70 weapon that you can equip, whether for the Gem of Ease or you have the altar, that's what people say in GM. You don't carry your shooter for the power. You already have damage on it, whatever. But it's a different stat. It might not give you the damage, but it have higher vitality and stuff, so you won't get defeated. You just, like I said, you're running through, and you will. Sorry, that one's strong. They rinse and put that weapon on the other one. But if you're by yourself, T4, you can lower it. Unless you're hardcore, you cannot So play approximately what you think you don't want to level. If you're skipping any other enemies except for greed, does not make a difference. But if you're defeating along the way, hell, you're using a puzzle ring, why would you want the extra mats, right? Keep it low level and lower if you can. Yeah, but hardcore can't. To make sure you stay between 5 and say 12. If you want to fire 170, by all means, but your chances are getting one summer. Between 5 and 12, like I said, greed is guaranteed. Drop 2 legendaries, 50% chance to be thorough. Unless they change that, what 50%. If you're playing with a friend, one of you is party leader. Come in with a level 5 character, 5 to I said 12, maybe 14, but most people say between 5 and 12. And then they leave. Do not make the other person party leader. Just leave and come in with your level 70. So your friend came in with level 70. You're the party leader with level 5. You started the game up with the level 5 as party leader. You leave, come back on your 70, go farm. You don't care if you defeat things or not, because the game's level 5, it will never increase. Right? Most people say if you're coming to level 14, be 10 higher than the person who created the game. Some people say it's only 5. Just farm it and then rinse and repeat. I mean, defeat things along the way or not, but greed to level 5 or whatever game you created was game, and that's what greed will go off on dropping legendaries. Because apparently her loot pool is slim on level 5. 5 to say 12. I don't think there's very many legendaries. You can get Lyrics Crown, I think Broken Crown maybe, but Lyrics and some other ones that are low level that she can drop. So I don't think she doesn't have any other ones. It's just extremely low. I don't have it bookmarked. You can just look at your class at level 5 or 12, whatever you come on, to see what legendaries could drop. Let me pause this real quick. Hopefully this works. Okay. So example, we make this be too long to do it that way. Level 5. These are all the items that can drop. Example for a wizard. You have all these items. Member at level 5 can go up to level 16. So keep that in mind. So any items that can drop for that class. So you have all these legendaries that could drop. So getting I forgot about Lyric Signet. So let's keep that in mind. Some classes have less, and they say Demon Hunter, and actually there's a chart somewhere that they get like 13% chance or something like that to get a thorough over other classes. But you're going to have to farm on the other class regardless to get it. I mean, unless Bartlett is being dominant, gives you the other classes. But then to give you a thorough, though, good luck. You know, like I said, there's a chance at level 5 or whatever to get one for a Necro if you don't have Necro. And don't think, well, I have a Necro friend. Well, the chances are it might drop then because the game has it. But if they get it, they can't give it to you because they're account bound. No time limit, they're automatically account bound. Right? And like I said, in case people don't remember, you can use, like I said it, you can reforge your thorough with your salvage primal. But you need 2 of them though, and you can make this ancient or primal. There's also a thing with farming, they say ancient puzzle ring. Of course, primal works too. Remember, primal and ancient is no difference when you use it in the cube. There's a chance for greed to drop 4 legendaries. I don't know why you would want to use an ancient or even primal low level, especially if you're not farming the stuff, because it's level whatever 5 to 12. The mats on it is not that many or that great. Even the gems, because remember, level 5, the highest tournament you can go is T6, right? Because level 5 cannot go in the 70 game without using a exploit. So your highest is T6. Most people say farm on T2 to T4 if you're not level 5 yet, at least, and go through it. If you're not level 5, at least when you get to greed, just leave it, port to town, go somewhere, level up a little bit. When you hit it, do not, well, it doesn't matter if you teleport to town or not with the teleport, because you can just go through the town and go through it, but you have to run through the whole level again. Hit M for map, and then choose a town, and then use the portal in town to go back where you were in Greece, like on the run sample, where it stays right before you say, enter this event. So let's keep that in mind. Yeah, there's different. I tried doing this, but every time I do it, if it loads, it doesn't load. Like there's a thing here, but it always gives me. If I do get their throws, they'll mention it, but it's always the eternal memory, which is the one going on right now, I believe, where you can use any power in the cube in the 3 slots that you have. Not your 4th slot. So they don't really have a build guide, but I was expect before season starts they will. I think I went over everything. So this has been the Rotten Raven. Thanks for watching.